Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oklahoma Gone Ballistic. Today we're going to be going over the SAR USA B6. I have received this firearm for a class that I'm about to start doing for the Sonoran Desert Institute in the Handgun Specialist Certificate Program, and that will be the hammer-fired handgun portion, which is the last class I will have to do for that certificate program. These are made in Turkey and imported by a company, SAR USA, out of Miami, Florida. These are a direct clone of the CZ75. We'll go ahead and show clear and show you the firearm. This is the SAR B6. You can see the chamber is empty right here. There's nothing inside of it. Magazine well is empty. Both of the 10-round mags that were sent from the school, which are the California compliant versions, so everybody can have them, are empty. The kit also comes with the bore mop and this tool here, which is for your punches, or not your punches, your cleaning patches, sorry. My mistake. Incorrectly named that. And they also, the firearm comes in this nice plastic case with the foam inserts for all of the individual pieces. With that being said, I'm going to go over the firearm itself. It has a stainless steel barrel. The slide itself is steel, but the frame itself is a polymer with steel inserts. It has, the serial number is on the slide. We'll go ahead and close the slide. It is also on the barrel right here in the ejection port area. And then a third time on the frame. So with that being said, if you don't have an FFL and you're ordering a barrel, a slide, or a frame for this, it will have to, without a doubt, go through a FFL dealer, and there will be an associated transfer fee involved with that. For my local area, I use Big Boys Guns and Ammo, and they have a $50 flat fee up to a certain amount. I think it's like up to 3 firearms. Anything over 3 firearms, the fee goes up. But with that being said, I can completely understand that because, you know, there's some fees they have to pay with associated with bringing in firearms and doing transfers. All the paperwork involved, the time that the employees have to do with processing the firearm into their system, and then the paperwork that has to be done for you to pick it up, your transfer fee, and the removing of the firearm from the list of firearms that they have in their possession. There's a lot of different things I would imagine that are involved in that. I don't know because I am not a FFL licensed person, so with that being said, this firearm is made in Turkey, imported into Miami, Florida, and I'm going to take a stab at trying to pronounce the full name of this company, but I'm probably going to mess it up. It looks like Sarzamaz, because it's spelled Sarsilmaz. If anyone knows how to accurately pronounce that, please let me know. I would really like to know how that is actually pronounced. But for those of you who are familiar with the CZ platform, this is a direct clone of the CZ75. So if I were to have to guess, and we can measure, but I would have to guess it's at least a 4.5 to 5 inch barrel. 4 1/4, so I was fairly close. I do know that the slide portion, the portion of the slide that sticks above the top edge of the frame, is about 5/8 of an inch tall. The firearm at its widest point is 1.5 inches, or no, 1.25 inches. Sorry, my correction. At its tallest point, from the bottom of the pistol grip to the uppermost portion of the slide, it is 5.25 if you don't count the sights, almost 5.5 if you do. This has a full length stainless steel guide rod. You can see it poking out right there. It fires a 9mm by 19 round, which, let's see if I have one for demonstration. It will not be put in the firearm or anywhere near it. I have one individual one. Looks like this, the 9mm Parabellum. And we'll go ahead and remove that from the area so that it's not near the firearm for safety purposes. It has, an external hammer like that. It has on the side here, your safety, which moves from the front. It pivots in the back. And then you have your slide release. It also catches it on the last round hold open. When the last round hold open happens, the mag follower will raise up, and this little portion of it right here catches the mag release, or the slide catch lever, pushes it up into a position that it catches a notch in the slide, locking it to the rear, letting you know that you indeed have an empty chamber. And even though you see that it has an empty chamber because the slide is open, it is always a good idea to check, because sometimes things happen where a slide will lock open with one round left, or multiple rounds left in the magazine. That has happened, I wouldn't say with this firearm that I know of, but I have seen videos where people have a last round hold open on a partially loaded mag. This also, we'll kind of move to the side where I'm not in the line of fire there. I don't know if you can see that, but it has a 3-dot sight system, just the basic white sights, white dots. They feel like they're made out of metal, but without taking them off and kind of checking them. And I don't know if I'd be able to tell you that exactly, because I don't want to really scratch on it and tear up the finish on the firearm. So that is a fairly nice finish. It has the logo right here that tells you the company and where it's made at the bottom, and on the top where they have a U.S. location at that they import these to. And for anybody who knows anything about the CZ platform, the CZs have quite the reputation for being a very reliable platform. Like the CZ75, the Shadow 2. For anybody who follows Honest Outlaw, he has done several videos on the CZ Shadow. He personally has some of his own in his own collection that he uses, and he seems to absolutely love them. So I'm going to have to say that probably they are a decent platform, and I would imagine that hopefully this one proves to be so as well. I have not fired it yet, just received it maybe a couple of hours ago from my local FFL. But I do plan on, once the 5-week course is up, that I'm going to take it out and fire it. To see how it performs, put it through its paces, run a few mags through it, and give a range report, if you will. For any of those of you who are familiar with the Gun Talk radio, or that Gun Talk Nation on iHeartRadio, that is a Tom Gresham thing. mentions that quite a bit. So if you haven't checked that channel out on iHeartRadio, I highly suggest it if you're into the gun community. There is a lot you can learn from that man. He has a wealth of knowledge at his disposal, whether it be his knowledge or the knowledge of people who are on the show with him, or the experts that he has come on from each of the companies that he happens to mention. Myself personally, I don't have any of those sponsors. I'm still trying to acquire some. I have made efforts to reach out to one so far to see kind of how that goes. I have reached out to Taurus in hopes that I can do some reviews on some of their 1911 pistols, because myself personally, I am a 1911 fan. I really absolutely enjoy the 1911 platform, both in its basic form, the GI standard model, and any of the ones that kind of the variants that come after that. And I will mention another channel in this one that you should check out when it comes to the 1911 platform, called 1911 Syndicate. They do an absolutely smashing job going over the 1911, all of its variant forms, and even the 2011, because it's based off of the 1911 platform. It's just a higher capacity double stack kind of version that comes in alternate calibers, such as like 9mm, and I think there might be another couple of ones in there. I'm still learning about that one. That one's a fairly new one for me. If you guys have any other knowledge on the SAR USA B6 or anything that you would like to see in the future, please drop a comment down below. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, select all so you can get all future updates that come from my channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time and growing with you and improving and making this channel that much better each and every time we do it. Hopefully sometime in the near future, most of those videos will include some range time where you get to see the firearm being demoed or reviewed in question in action. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time.